Hello everybody and welcome to Strategic Operative. Today we're going to be looking at how to make a TIE Fighter swarm that is going to get the biggest bang for your buck. Now we're going to try making a squadron ball, mainly just using generic TIE Fighters that only cost 8 points apiece. We're trying to make them really deadly, and to do that we're going to be using our Quasars as our main ships here. We're going to use 2 Quasars. And our commander, no doubt, is going to be Admiral Sloan with her ability, which is just, while a friendly squadron without rogue is attacking, it may spend 1 die with a focus icon and choose and spend 1 of the defender's defense tokens while attacking a ship. It may also reroll 1 die with a crit icon, which is going to be excellent for TIE Fighters, because TIE Fighters only roll blue dice. So either way, if they're going to get a focus icon, if they're going to get a crit or a hit, it's a win-win situation here. We're also, for the title of this Quasar, I think we're going to give it the Stronghold, which is while a friendly squadron or swarm at distance 1 to 2 is defending, it is treated as obstructed, which is really going to help us here. We're also going to give us, for this one, we're going to do Expanded Hangar Bay, and we are going to put we're going to use both of these retrofits, I believe, here. One of them we're going to use the flight controls, which is going to be excellent, and that's the anti-squadron armament of each squadron that you activate is increased by 1 blue die until the end of its activation. So now these squadrons are now these TIE Fighters, if you're activated by the Quasar, are going to be having 4 blue die against squadrons. We're also going to put Ruthless Strategies on here, which is just going to make those TIE Fighters just a little bit more useful, even though they have 3 health. I mean, they're going to die anyway real quick, so I'm not too concerned about that. Let's actually go to our second Quasar, and we're going to put Flight Controls, same thing. We're also going to give it Ruthless Strategies. And we're also, for this one's going to be a little bit more up front versus our other Quasar. Is going to be a little bit in the back because it does have Sloan on it. We're going to use Agent Callus to really help counter any squadrons that our TIE Fighters have to deal with right off the bat. We're also going to be putting in an Architens. I love Architens. Architens are just going to give us some firepower here. We're also going to do Syncor. While another friendly ship resolves a squadron command, up 2 of those squadrons can activate to close medium range of view. This just gives us more cover, which is really going to help here. Also, enhanced armament. We really want this guy here just to be rolling 5 red dice out of the sides. It's going to be great cover. Pretty much against anything. Even an ISD doesn't want to get in that arc at all. We're also going to add 1 more ship just to help against squadrons furthermore, and of course none other than the Raider Class 1. We're going to give it the Impetuous title, so it can flak out of 1 hull zone again. We're also going to give it the Quad Laser Turrets, and we could put Flechette Torpedoes on here. I'll put those on just because I can. Let's do Flechette Torpedoes. So we have 4 ships right now. We have the Quasar, we have 2 Quasars, Admiral Sloan, Architens, and Raiders. So these are really going to be they're decently maneuverable ships. I mean, they're not the greatest firepower, but their whole goal is to back up our squadrons. So let's take a look at squadrons we're going to be using. For the squadrons, we're absolutely going to use Hellrunner for our TIE Fighters. Reason being is if she is in the swarm, while another friendly squadron will swarm at distance 1 is attacking a squadron, it may add 1 blue die to its attack pool. So if you were to add her combo with the Quasar's flight controllers, that's 5 blue dice a TIE Fighter is rolling against another squadron. And if it's a unique squadron, you're going to use Admiral Sloan's ability. You can also use Ruthless Strategies, Ruthless Strategies, and really help as well. So these TIE Fighters that are 8 points are rolling 5 blue dice, which is pretty much incredible. Also, if they're going up against a ship, remember they get to reroll their crits, and their accuracies get to do much more damage as well. So for TIE Fighters, we are going to add at least 4 here. we're going to do 4. Oh, let's do 4. So we have 5 TIE fighters overall. Overall, these 4 TIE fighters and Howl Runner will be put into our second Quasar that will be running a little bit closer. And for our other squads, I was wanting to go with something a little bit different, not just ties. You could do more ties if needed, but I think another thing I really want to use, some of my favorite squads are the TIE Phantom squads. I mean, using 2 of those, pretty much they're 4 movement, just like TIE fighters. They have 4 hull, they have 4 anti-squadron dice. They can't use Howl Runner, but if they use the flight controls, they get an extra blue die, so it's 5 blue die. And against ships, they get 2 red dice, which isn't that bad at all. And it has the cloaking ability, so they, even if they're engaged, they can move distance 1, which is gonna be really good. So we're at 378 right now. You could even add a little bit more squads. Let's add just 2 more TIE fighters. And so now we have, pretty much we're running now 9 squads, which is going to be a pretty decent fireball. It's a cheap fireball too, if you think about it. If you start looking at how many squads we have and compared to the point values, it's absolutely amazing. These guys are going to get their money out of what you put into them, especially with Admiral Sloan, Ruthless Strategies, and Flight Controls. All these are really going to help out, and the Quasars are really going to help too. The reason why I picked them, not just as carriers, but because their anti-squadron die is a red die at long range. Well, now that we have Callus on one of these, Callus can now add a black die to that attack, or another red dice, or if you're looking for a focus, you can put a blue die in. So these guys are really going to help cover to where your squadrons are not going to have that much competition on the board. That's the idea, especially if you run them close to like the Raider 1, the Impetuous, or if you're going to run them close to the Architon. Both of these have great counter as well. The Raider has 2 black dice, and the Architon has 1 black dice. And then, of course, you got the red for the Quasar. So these are actually going to be really good anti-squadron ships. Even if you're going up against an ISD, these squadrons are going to be able to tear through their defense tokens. Honestly, if you got them all within the right position, you could knock them all out in 1 round easily. And then from there, it's just a sitting ISD. There's no defense tokens, and you're just peeling it away. Of course, you want to, spread your squadrons out so you're not getting flacked all at the same side. You sort of want him to choose a little bit, or if he's going to shoot your ships. But other than that, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how these fly, and I'm definitely going to do a video in the future of me flying these and seeing the success and what the best strategy would be flying these in and pretty much what objectives you're going to go with it. Obviously, right now, for objectives, the ones that I'm thinking of right now, we could do, advanced gun array or something. The reason being is because if they have a larger ship, I want them to put advanced gun array or most wanted on their bigger ship, because more points. Because right now we really don't need any of the attack objectives. We really aren't going to need with our guys. For defensive, we could do a little bit more. We can always do minefields. We can do intel sweep. Oh, I tipped on the wrong one, but okay. Oh, so we could do definitely fighter ambush. And then for our navigate, we could do minefields, intel sweep. We could even do salvage run, but we're going to go with minefields here, hoping that, my worst fear with these guys is going up against an ISD or even in the future an SSD. But with this in mind, it's really just going to make it a little bit more of a struggle on their part trying to maneuver their ships. And since these ships are really, agile, we're really going to not struggle that much with maneuverability compared to hopefully our opponents. And if they're smaller ships, that's even better news for us with our squadrons. They're going to be able to tear through them much quicker than larger ships. In the future, though, I am looking at doing a few rebel lists since I know I only have Imperial lists right now, and I am working to get those up as soon as possible. Thank you all for watching.